Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with my Freeze Friday on Sunday, and I have just done my very last layout for the Mind the Scrap week 5 of the Mind the Scrap challenge, and I have a stack of 22 layouts that I've produced since last Sunday. All of them following the Mind the Scrap Summer Challenge rules. And this week the rules were stitching, 3 pattern papers, at least one double matted photo, an animal, and that could be butterfly or bird or any type of animal, either in the photo or in the embellishments, and some form of mixed media, and for the purposes of this, splatters counted as mixed media. So I'm going to go, instead of arranging them in order in which I did them, I'm going to go backwards because they're somewhat out of order anyway. And rather than going through and telling you exactly what challenge they were done for, I may remember that as I go along, but I won't turn it over. I'm going to try to get through this a lot quicker than I usually do. My table's a mess. I need to clean it before I start next week's challenges, and I really just want to sit down and watch an episode of Endeavor before I go any further. So here we go. This is the one I just completed. It's called Collect Memories, and I used a Bramble Fox perspective there. It's for the Storyteller Challenge. The idea for the journaling and the composition came from the Storyteller Challenge at the Secret Not Secret Kit Club party, but it follows the Mind the Scrap rules. It's kind of the story about how Ava's intense research that she did all last year when she was going through chemo has yielded a really deep knowledge of nutrition. And so she's really there's a new juice bar that opened, and she's drinking a green smoothie, which she said wasn't great, but she knows it was good for her, so she's going to do that. This is one I called Be Refreshed, and the B is for Barrett, and it's kind of the story of how he loved swimming at first when he was a couple years old, and then came to our pool in Houston. But by the time we built the pool in Jackson, he hadn't done a whole lot of swimming, and he had gotten scared, except when he was with me. And here this photo, he's on my shoulders and kind of, reaching around my face. And of course I have glasses on, and I was kind of walking around and playing with him, but just the expression of joy on his face. Okay, this is one I hate. I almost don't want to show it to you. Use the same filter that I used for this photo, and I can't tell you what it is. It's from the Prisma application, and it was yesterday's daily filter. Used it for this, and I love it. I love the idea of doing a page called The Cutest Biker Gang on the Planet, but just the composition of the page doesn't work for me. This is one I did for Scrap Squad Sunday. It's the Scrap Squad Lift number 32. Pink Fresh Studios, Bramble Fox perspective, lots of, for me, unusual colors, and kind of an overall white on white. I love this layout. I love it. There's a video on that one out today. This one is one that I also love. It's it's based on a challenge from Amber of Damask Love. And if you haven't seen the Damask Love line of products, they're amazing. This bright polka dot on black is hers. And these stickers, I kind of did a sticker sneeze across this border. The challenge was to use not only the rainbow of colors, but the rainbow of skin tones. And so she gave me the stickers to do the skin tones. She has just the most inclusive line of embellishments, and I've seen so much out there of people feeling included. And this is kind of the story of Girl Power. She didn't want her picture taken. When she saw I was trying to take it, she hid. Her dad offered her $20, so she said, oh, okay. So all of a sudden the smile comes out. But she didn't like this one, and he had already posted it on Instagram, so she charged him another $20 for because he didn't want to take it down, and then he paid her another $20 for this. So get this, girl power indeed. She walked out of there with $60 for giving us that cute little smile, but it was worth it, right? This is one for Sarah Scrapp's stamping challenge at Secret Not Secret. I had this school photo of my son that I ran across, and I love it. And he's got little school books and things like that on his desk. And so I pulled out all my school-related stamps and did that, and did my stitching around the heart. This is a mood board challenge, and I don't think I have the mood board there to show you, but it had an image in it and colors in it that were represented in this pattern paper. So I just kind of pulled other pattern papers that I thought kind of went with it. To be honest, this whole week was about getting rid of scraps, and I think I'm actually going to trash a lot of the scraps that I haven't used this week. But so I called it was a mood board challenge, and I called this In a Mood. That's Barrett, who was usually smiling all the time. This is one of my favorite pages ever in the history of pages. It was a, I forget what it was a unicorn name challenge. And when I looked up my unicorn name in the challenge, my unicorn name is Pearl Snowflower. So I thought of this stencil, and I did it white on white, and then I used some of these flakes. They are Pour Art embellishments, iridescent flakes, and I just kind of put them on the wet texture paste, and then I went through and carefully removed the one so that it would kind of get the effect there. I stitched on the top of this, added 3 different pattern papers off to the side, and my journaling reads, "Hi, I'm Reese. No one calls me Pearl Snowflower. That's my grandma's unicorn name. I like to bark for no reason, chew fingers, and assault blankets." So those last few words are from an Instagram post that my son put out. This one is one to tell a you had to be there story. And I chose to tell the story of when we missed a train from Barcelona to Madrid, and we had some random guy walk up to us in the train station and offer to give us a ride to the next train station. He said he could drive fast enough to beat the train to this next train station. So even though he had no uniform on and there were no taxi markings on his vehicle, we actually got in the car and let this guy drive 90 miles an hour while he was using his mobile phone to scream and yell, and we didn't know if he was arranging someone to help him dispose of the body parts, or it turns out he was yelling at the train people at the station who had refused to hold the train if we were a little bit late. So we got into this little town of Flix. He couldn't find the train station, so he found a bar. He went into the bar, hauled out this unbelievable drunk, stinky, smelly guy who'd probably been drinking for 3 weeks in the same seat without going home. And he got in the car and he directed us through people's backyards, through a chicken yard, and that's why I have a little wood veneer chicken here, and just kind of a neighborhood, and we were going up hills and down hills, into ditches, out of ditches. I'm pretty sure that the chassis of the taxi was forever damaged from that ride, but we got to the train station on time. They let us in a car. We never could find our real car. We sat in the hallway for a while and kind of just reflected on what we'd just been through. Anyway, that was a great story, and I love the Vicki Boutin background paper, and I used I think mustard seed or something to go over it, and it was nice, but it was not quite dark enough, so that I went over it with my Gathered Twigs, which is my inked edges ink. And you can see that I put the inker on top of there, and I've almost obliterated the name. This is just a page made of scraps with a really cute little photo of Barrett. I'm doing a lot of Barrett pages because his birthday is coming up. He's turning 16 and he's getting his driver's permit, and it's just amazing to me because this is how I think of him. And so I used a bunch of boy-related stickers and just whatever scraps I had on my desk. This one is again adding some inking to a Vicki Boutin mixed media background, a story about Rita's, which is a frozen custard shop that's in Swanee, not too far away from us. And our happiest day, they close down for the winter, and our happiest day in the spring is usually when we get the email telling us that they've reopened. Well, we got no such email today, and we haven't been to Swanee to check on it, so we don't even know if Rita's is still in business. And so I'm talking about the happy day when we go to Rita's. This is another one of those, use whatever I had on my desk. These papers were already torn for other projects. There's a bit missing out of here, so I added these little banners from a sticker sheet from a card making thing. Have no idea where I got this background, but cute picture of the kids asleep in the back seat. They always used to do that. This one was for a YouTube hop called I'm Just a Girl Who. And my Just a Girl Who is, I started to do one, and I may still yet do one. I'm just a girl who loves baseball, but this one is I'm a girl who loves to play in the dirt. So I found some early photos of me in the garden, and then a photo of the current garden taken just a couple weeks ago, and I scrapped it in color, but I thought if I put it in black and white that nobody would recognize that. And I have some sayings about because life is too short to always have clean fingernails. And I've got plant dreams, pull weeds, and grow a happy life. Just nice. I like it. A million different collections there. This was for Mixed Media Frenzy. And I love the little watercolor droppies that I did by getting a sheet with very wet, dampened down Distress Oxides, and then I just let it drip on the page. I've seen that effect on other people's pages. I didn't know how they did it, so it just kind of came to me while I was filming. And I really love it. I will do that again. This one is one I did for Challenge Accepted, the series that comes out every Thursday. And I had this VW Bug jeans pocket patch. And so I found a couple photos. This is a photo of our RV, and this is a photo of the kids in the RV for kind of a story about how we thought we were going to take 1 million trips with the kids, and that didn't turn out, but we had fun. There were fun times. This is a page about Katie's experience. She was asked to be a hair model, and you can see that this kind of thing is done only in an empty salon. This used to be a big event in most salons when a model is there and the stylist is doing the model's hair. It's being filmed and it's being submitted for awards and so forth. And so it was all empty. They did let her dad come in as long as he had a mask, and I guess he was allowed to make funny hand gestures, and they took a photo. But after they'd washed and colored her hair, this was kind of what it looked like, and then they cut it and styled it to that. So that's the profession she's going into, and so she loved that she got a chance to kind of be a part of that part of the business. This is one that I did. I don't think there's a video for it. I stitched across some torn papers and used a lot of boy things. It's another Barrett page, and I pretty much matched the papers and embellishments to his shirt. He's wearing a really nice bright orange shirt there. And this one is another one I did with scraps, and I kind of sewed down the middle and outlined with a black pen. I did that same stencil that I did the white snowflower, the pearl snowflower earlier. I did this, and I got this technique for these triangles making a border from Chamel's session at the Scrap Smarter experience. And I just used a lot of these same scraps and constructed this border, and I love it. And I found some matching, who knew I would find exactly matching enamel dots. This one's kind of an artsy one. Using my second sheet of this tiger paper, I decided to cut it in 3 and mount it on pink paper because that's the tiger is black on a pale pink. And then I did 3 very close-ups of my eyes, the whole idea being the eye of the tiger here, and use some, you know, fierce and hustle and believe in yourself and everything's gonna be okay. So it was just kind of I like this version better. These were 3 different filters on the, I'm pretty sure that's Prisma as well. These were some filtered photos of Ava playing with her My Little Ponies, and I just thought that those colors and this colorful striped paper would be good on black paper, and I did my white journaling around. This was a very, very quick page to do. And this one, I'm going to show you this one first. Vicki Boutin showed on the Scrap Smarter experience, Vicki Boutin showed a technique where she used the little finger daubers to make dots of different colors of Distress Oxides. I don't have any finger daubers, but I do have the different pads. I have a different pad for each color family generally. This just, you know, so I just went through making dots. I overlapped some. I used some oxides and some Distress inks. I did the whole page. Then I cut this circle out of it and mounted it with foam over a white sheet. Had a screen print that Stacy Julian did, and I'm there on the screen print. And so I did this layout first, and that left me with this hole. So with that hole, I cut it in 2 pieces, stamped on top of the inked circles, stitched a couple on this one and 1 on this one, and I filtered a photo of Ava with all of her gardening tools standing by the tomato plant she was so proud of. And I did several different edits of it or crops of it to get closer and brought them into a circle mask and then cut that out and inked the edges. So, or I think I may have punched those out. And then I did a circle. The idea was this was all about circles. And I used a circle stencil for the journaling block there. So this is maybe one of my favorite pages ever because I love remembering when Ava used to be my gardening buddy. And then there's this one, which was done for, what was that? Oh, this was off the board, and I chose a pen, that's this one right here. So I saw the watercolory background and all of the frames that kind of were underneath the photos and the embellishments. So I pulled some, I have some black and white here for relief, did a rainbow. I gessoed the frames. The frames were all a couple different colors of pink, so I gessoed those so that they're just a very kind of pale-ish pink, and there's some texture to them. And did a picture of me which was taken in the morning before I had my head shaved, and then that was in the afternoon after I had my head shaved. And then this one was the first one I did last week. It's a picture of Ava doing homework, talking about how homework looks a lot different this school year. And a lot of the beauty of this page is in that pattern paper. And I have no idea where it is. I think it came from a paper pad. And it has things in it like Little Dreamer, Reach for the Stars, Free as the Wind and Sky, Believe that this amazing world is flat because, just lots of kind of affirmation type things, Reach for the Stars. So I just kind of went with that, added the butterfly and the loving this, and this is a gold version of that same pink frame, and I only had part of it because I had used the other part for another project a while back, so I just kind of have it sticking out, and the exact same gold tone in this piece of ephemera from, I think that's from Heidi Swapp. So that's it. That's my stack of 20, what did I say, 21 or 22? And oh look, my very first stitching, I did a double star in the same pink thread that I tied this with, which is exactly the same color, that corally pink of this filigree kind of pattern. Anyway, that's it. As for spending, I have to fess up. There was a discount given from the Scrap Smarter experience at the Redefine Creative shop. So I ordered a few essentials from there. I could have said just include those in my kit, and I would kind of skate by without having to report those. And in fact, that they're going to be shipped with my kit, and I will reduce my kit expense by the same amount. So I maybe didn't have to confess that. But I did order, one of the teachers, one of the faculty members in the Scrap Smarter experience was Catherine Pooler, and I hear people rave so much about her inks. I didn't order any stamps from her because I have the world's largest supply of stamps and need absolutely no more stamps ever again, ever. Like that's going to happen. And so I ordered some inks, some of the little small inks in the bright color family. I think there are 6 or 8 in the pack. So I've got that coming in. So that's kind of and I got a good discount on it. It's kind of my first spending that's not a gift card or part of a kit, something like that. So I feel like in a year, I think maybe a little over a year, that's all the discretionary spending I've done. So not too bad, not too shabby. Thanks for watching. I will have another big batch of layouts next week because I'm finishing up the Secret Not Secret Party challenges, and I'm doing all of my regular series, and I'm doing it's my team's week to pick the rules for this next week of challenges at Mind the Scrap. So I'll be trying to do as much as I can there to kind of help the team move ahead and stay ahead. then things should kind of go back to normal after the last week of the Mind the Scrap Challenge. So, again, thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye.